Singapore is the low-tax financial hub that defies the tax haven label. Singapore, the dynamic city-state, regularly earns accolades for its quality of life, world-class infrastructure and economic vitality. Yet, when discussing its attractive financial landscape, the term tax haven often surfaces. While Singapore offers substantial tax advantages, a closer look reveals a sophisticated system that is better described as a low-tax jurisdiction designed to spur genuine economic activity rather than a traditional tax haven for passive wealth hiding like you see in the Bahamas. This small nation, about the size of the island of Man or Rhode Island, has achieved a stunning transformation from a developing country to a world-class, first-world financial powerhouse in just under 50 years. It is a unique location where futuristic skyscrapers stand alongside vibrant cultural enclaves like Chinatown, Little India, and Kampong Glam. Its efficiency, safety, and multiracial population, predominantly Chinese, Malay, and Indian, and commitment to the rule of law make an exceptionally attractive base for high net worth individuals and, of course, its global businesses. So, taxation in Singapore. It's territorial and low rates. Singapore's tax structure is the core reason for its global appeal, operating on a so-called Territorial Tax System. This means the government primarily taxes income earned within Singapore, while most foreign-sourced income is tax-exempt. This is a massive advantage for international businesses and, of course, investors. Here are some of the key numbers defining the tax landscape in this city-state. The corporate income tax. Singapore boasts a flat rate of 17%, which is amongst the lowest in the region. Moreover, the government offers significant incentives, such as the startup tax exemption, which can reduce the effective tax rate substantially for qualifying new companies for the first $200,000 of chargeable tax income. To benefit from this low rate, companies must demonstrate economic substance, so a real, physical and operational presence in Singapore. The personal income tax. For tax residents, the system is progressive, with rates ranging from 0% to a top rate of 24% for the highest earners, exceeding 1 million Singaporean dollars. The capital gains tax? Well, Singapore has none, a huge perk for investors. It also means no exit tax when an individual leaves the country, provided of course they filed their tax return. So, in keeping with the global drive for tax fairness, Singapore has made changes to align with international standards. From January 1st, 2024, the government introduced taxes on certain foreign-sourced disposable gains if the relevant entity does not have an economical substance in Singapore. Furthermore, to comply with global initiatives, a minimum effective tax rate of 15% for multinationals is set to come in force this year. This ensures that Singapore remains compliant with the new global norms and prevents the abuse of its system for illegal tax evasion. So, the path to Singaporean residency. It's a serious commitment to start. Unlike traditional tax havens that allow passive wealth parking, gaining tax residency or permanent residency in Singapore requires a significant commitment of capital and, of course, or business activity. It's a selective process that has become more difficult and expensive throughout the years. The most direct route for high net worth individuals is the Global Investor Program, GIP, which offers 3 options to secure permanent resident status. 1 is to invest in a business, to commit at least 10 million Singapore dollars, about 7.5 million, in a new or expanding business entity. This requires demonstrating 3 years of entrepreneurial experience and a clear business track record. 2, invest in a fund, invest 25 Singaporean dollars, about 18.5 million US dollars, in a fund that specifically invests in Singaporean businesses. Or 3, establish a family office. Establish a Singapore-based family office with assets under management of at least 200 million Singapore dollars, about 150 million USD. A quarter of these assets must be held in Singapore, with the remainder permitted to be in overseas assets. So for individuals seeking to work in the country, an employment pass is available. It is for those with a minimum monthly salary of 4.5 Singaporean dollar thousands. More than a tax haven, that's how you can talk about Singapore, because the non-tax advantages for investors and businesses are for a compelling mix of factors. For example, it's a financial hub, both for banking and other financial activities. Singapore is one of the world's leading financial centers, offering stable and transparent priority banking for entrepreneurs. Banking fees are low, with easy access to multi-currency accounts and investment opportunities. Global connectivity. The country's strategic geographical location serves as a gateway to the Asian continent, offering unparalleled connectivity to a rapidly growing regional markets. Of course, security and stability. Foreign investors benefit from the country's profound political stability, strong legal framework, and respect for the rule of law. It is renowned for its safe streets and efficient public services. It has a world-class passport. For those who pursue full citizenship, the Singaporean passport is just one of the most powerful globally, allowing visa-free or visa-on-arrival access to 171 destinations, including the EU and the United States. However, it does require renouncing all other citizenships, as Singapore does not allow dual citizenships. And citizens must complete mandatory military service up to age 40. While it is one of the more expensive places to live in Asia, pricier than, for example, Malaysia and Thailand, it is generally less expensive than cities like New York City or London. It offers a fantastic lifestyle, excellent medical benefits, and a truly cultural mosaic. So in conclusion, it's a low tax and a high compliance country. The key distinction is clear. Singapore is a low tax jurisdiction with a territorial tax system and attractive incentives, and it's not a traditional tax haven. Tax havens, such as the Cayman Islands or Bermuda, offer zero taxes with minimal or no requirement for genuine local business activity or transparency. Singapore, in contrast, mandates genuine economic activity or economic substance to qualify for its tax benefits. Furthermore, it enforces high standards of regulation and compliance, actively cooperating with international standards like the OECD's exchange of information and the US FATCA. So, in sum, for high-worth individuals, entrepreneurs and investors, Singapore offers a holistic value proposition. The potential to significantly reduce taxes legally, grow business, leveraging its Asian connectivity, accessing top-ranked stable banking system, and enjoying a high-quality life and secure lifestyle. If you want to hear more about this, feel free to reach out.